12,000 years ago, this was the first person that we have discovered with radiocarbon dating of being in the Americas. This is the earliest American. This Luzia. This person, the bone, there was like a thigh bone and an arm bone and a part of the most of a skull bone. And at first, this was a bust that was made and said, okay, this was an approximation of what the first person in America would look like. It's not shocking to me. 50,000 years ago, we all busted out of Africa. So 50,000 years ago, that means it took us, 40,000 years ago, finally to get here? Not years ago, but it took us 40,000 years to finally get here. Agencia.fapesp.br. Among the many known Clovis sites, the only burial site associated with Clovis tools is in Montana, where the remains of a baby boy, Anzick-1, were found and dated to 12,600 years ago. Okay, so maybe there's a competitor here. DNA extracted from these bones has links to DNA from skeletons of people who lived between 10,000 and 9,000 years ago in the caves near Lagoa Santa, Minas Gerais State, Brazil. In other words, the Lagoa Santa people were partial descendants of Clovis migrants from North America. From the genetic standpoint, the Lagoa Santa people are descendants of the first Amerindians. Surprisingly, members of the first lineage of South Americans left no identifiable descendants among today's Amerindians. Some 9,000 years ago, their DNA disappears completely from the fossil samples. It's replaced by DNA from the first migratory wave. Prior to the Clovis culture, all living Amerindians are descendants of this first wave. We don't know yet why the genetic stock of the Lagoa Santa people disappeared. So now they're trying to say that the DNA doesn't even carry on. So there was a competitor. I don't know. I just highlighted this one section because this was just such a smart article. But it's compared in contrast to Clovis culture. And the whole idea was there's a Bering Strait, right? People had just crossed over from Russia, Siberia, Kamchatka, on over to Alaska. So 12,000 years ago is what I think it was like 1100, 300 or something, 11,3. So 9,400, 11,4 or 11,3 is older than 94, and 11,3 is older than 11,000. So what were they saying this one here? We'll have to check this other one out here because this one might be older, but... well, shit, that steals a bit of my thunder, but still fucking old as shit. And we don't have a good chapter 1. This is all, I was going to call it the Luzia Project, but I guess we're going to have to call it the, the 7 skeletons along with dozens of others. A whole bunch of in the rock shelter, Lagoa Santa. 7 skeletons dated between 10 to 9,000 years ago. So if you just, that'd be 9,600 years ago. So that's... where did the highlighted region go? Where did the highlighted region... oh. I undid the highlighted region. So do I carry on? Persevere, my good man. As long as you can get it back soon, I'll give you 20 seconds. Go ahead. So this is actually trying to say, oh, it's not actually the way it's supposed to be, and then all this other, smart data and what have you. We'll come back to... here, we'll just read the bust of Luzia with African features was built on the basis of the skull's morphology by British anatomical artist Richard Neve in the 1990s. In the 1990s. But Strauss, he says, that's not right. No, that's not right. And why? Because this is what he says, right? He says it doesn't look like a black woman if you were to actually do this, the correct morphology, which who the hell understands this science? And this is getting to the main point. They went ahead and reconstructed the person's features, and it's not a woman anymore. And it's not, clearly doesn't have, African features. It doesn't have as wide of a nose. But look, that's a black man. It's still, even they tried to Eurocentrify it. They try to whitewash it, but that's still, look, that's Shaquille O'Neal, ain't it? That's Obama. That's still a black man. So, if the whole idea was to completely whitewash Luzia, they, I don't understand the gender, but I guess how do you figure out the gender? Well, they got a thigh bone, right? Can't you tell with the thigh bone, or was it a partial thigh? The skulls, or something with the skull, and then the arm bone. And then the Luzia, I heard, was the fucking museum was fucking destroyed. So all we got is the old research. It was destroyed 4 fucking years ago. God, destroying a museum? That should be the worst crime. One of the worst crimes ever. A museum. You didn't just destroy 1 or 2 artifacts. You destroyed, God damn. And did they have copies and whatnot? And let's see here. Let's see if we could tell, just judging by the skull. Just judging by the skull what we think that... It's a picture of it, but, with the museum being destroyed, that might be the only... So, according to my understanding, that's a human. That's a human skull. Though, look at that. Is that teeth? They got weird looking teeth right there, right? Is that where our teeth is? No, not like that. And look how, God, those teeth are pretty intact. Still has teeth. A skull with teeth. Incredible. And we know it's, 11,000 years ago? 11.3? 11.5? 11.3. We'll go with 11.3. So, yeah. There you go. There you go. There.